All right, so for this video we are going to be starting our first observation drawing. And so what we have here are two options. I just thought it would be nice to give you options, so you can do option A or B. It's up to you. So we're going to turn to, in our sketchbook, to the first clean page. And that means we're going to have to skip the first two because we did our daily drawing prompts from last week. So this is probably the one that is right in front of your brown paper. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of gently fold my paper over so I'm not ripping the staples out. All right, so I could do the drawing this way, or I could do the drawing this way. But I think this way allows me a little more room, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. When we start a observation drawing, we're really concentrating on proportions, like the height of things compared to the width, and the height and width of one thing compared to another thing, like this one being much smaller, but this one's also wider. So I'm going to be looking at all those things. And so I'm also looking at proper placement, where I put these things according to the picture or the still life that we're looking at. So those are the things I'm going to concentrate on today. I'm not doing any shading today. Neither are you. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more, or excuse me, just actually start drawing here. So the first couple minutes, maybe like a minute or two, we're really going to do a fast drawing. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll do this one, just because it's not quite the same on both sides. And so I'm going to start by kind of marking where the bottom of things are, like this little oval tin can here. The bottom of it's going to be like right about here. Then I have this square container, rectangular container, that's up just a little bit higher, so I'm just going to lightly place that. I've got this bottle that's got a little pump on it, which is going to be right about here. I've got another one, it's somewhere back here, so I'm just kind of placing where they're at. Now I'm going to break these things down into very simple shapes like ovals, circles, triangles, squares, that type of thing. And so as I look at this little round tin thing, it basically has the top showing, which is an oval. And I'm going to do this in a very quick sketch because I want to make sure I'm just placing things and that everything is going to fit on here. So this is about, okay, you notice I'm going pretty light here to the point where you guys might have trouble seeing this. I'm going real light, and I'm also holding my pencil like this because I don't want to put any grooves on the paper. I don't want anything permanent right now. And I'm really not worried about exactness. I do know that this goes down just a little bit on the sides and that the lid is also in a circular direction like that, and then it goes down and it goes down and it kind of rounds a little bit. I then have this rectangular shape here, so I know the sides go up and up. Okay. I can see the top of it going back, so I'm going to put a little perspective into this by going like that. Problem is I do not see the side here, so I need to fix that just a little bit, and that's going to be actually angling in like this. All right, so then I have this back container right here, which is cylindrical. We really don't see much of the top, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it like this and go down. It's very square right now, when actually in the picture it's kind of rounded. We have the squeeze bottle over here, which is, we're going to start with a rectangular shape. And I'm looking at it, seeing, okay, it's taller than this one, so it's got to go up a little higher. So I'm just going to kind of place it in. I don't really see much of the bottom, maybe just like a little tiny corner right there. And I'm going to leave that as is. Then I've got this bottle over here. I do see the bottom of it. So I'm going to go rectangular, rectangular. This is the tallest thing, so I have to come over here and say, okay, it's got to be taller than this. This is the white portion of the bottle, so I'll break it down into a rectangle. And then I've got another rectangle for the top. Another rectangle, looks like a little building almost. And then a little oval shape for the spout. Ooh, you guys didn't see any of that. Let me try this again over here. Okay, so rectangle, 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 and then there's the spout. All right, so I essentially now have my placement drawing done. I think evaluating this, I have a little more room over here than what I would normally like, but I think I can live with it. So I could either erase and move it, But like I just said, I'm going to live with this. I like it for the most part, so I'm going to go ahead and start changing things, like making this rounded, adding the grooves and lines on it, and I'm going to commit to this drawing by making it more identical to the picture itself. I've got a lid on this square rectangular container that I need to show, so I'm going to bring that. I'm going to maybe round this just a little bit more on the edges. And then obviously this one right here needs a little adjustment because that is not rectangular. It's actually rounded, and it kind of angles down just a little bit, and it's got like a circular shape right here. I can see a little bit of the lid. All right, and then I get over to this one and I can see a little bit of lines for the texture or gripping part of this. And then I would do some adjustments here. So this is where, after you get your placement drawing, you start coming back and saying, okay, I definitely want to keep this all in here. And for today, this is a placement drawing, so we are not adding any sort of shading. Last thing I would add is it's probably a good idea to add any really obvious shadows that you might see on the back. Like there's a shadow over here for this bottle. And I might just draw in a little bit right here. There's a really dark shadow behind this container right here. I can see a line behind my objects. And that's essentially it. So that is the first day observation drawing placement sketch.